1 Kings 18:30 through 39. Then Elisha said to all of the people, "Come here to me." And they came to him, and he repaired the altar of the Lord, which had been torn down. Elijah took 12 stones, one for each of the tribes descended from Jacob, to whom the word of the Lord had come, saying, "Your name shall be Israel." With the stones he built an altar in the name of the Lord, and he dug a trench around it large enough to hold 2 seahs of seed. He arranged the wood, cut the bull into pieces, and laid it on the wood. Then he said to them, "Fill 4 large jars with water, and pour it on the offering and on the wood." "Do it again," he said, and they did it again. "Do it a 3rd time," he ordered, and they did it a 3rd time. The water ran down around the altar and even filled the trench. At the time of the sacrifice, the prophet Elijah stepped forward and prayed, "Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known today that you are God in Israel, and that I am your servant, and have done all of the things at your command. Answer me, Lord, answer me, so that these people will know that you, Lord, are God, and that you are turning their hearts back again." Then the fire of the Lord fell and burned up the sacrifice, the wood, the stone, and the soil, and also licked up the water in the trench. When all the people saw this, they fell prostrate and cried, "The Lord, He is God. The Lord, He is God." Brother Donnie Proctor, pastor of Emmanuel Baptist Church in Ypsilanti, Michigan. It is Tuesday, the 10th day of August. It is the day that we continue our Strength for the Journey, the devotional book by Thomas Epp. And today is dealing with 1 Kings 18:30 through 39. Elijah building the altar, calling down fire from God to burn up the altar with all of the, after it had been soaked with water and all the water was licked up and everything. Epp entitles this day, "The Fire Falls." By having water poured over the sacrifice as often as he did, Elijah prevented any human counterfeiting or trickery, and then he began to pray. The short prayer has only 63 English words, even fewer in Hebrew. It takes about 20 seconds to speak them, but the prophets of Baal had prayed to their idol for several hours and had received no answer at all. Elijah prayed for 20 seconds, and God answered by fire. Elijah's prayer differed in character and sincerity from that of the prophets of Baal. James described it when he said, "The effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much." James 5:16. Even some Christians seem to misunderstand what this verse means. They shout in prayer as though God were deaf. They put on a demonstration as though they had to attract God's attention. Earnestness in prayer does not involve physical gestures, but a condition of the heart and will with regard to the purposes of God. Perhaps here we may learn to examine our own prayers. Since Elijah's prayer was motivated by his desire to see God honored, God answered his servant. In writing concerning prayer, James said, "Ye ask and receive not, because ye ask amiss, that you may consume it upon your own lusts." That's James 4:3. Right motives are essential if our prayers are to be answered. Hebrews 12:29 says, "For our God is a consuming fire." May God bless this and let us take it to heart as we pray, and let our prayers be genuine, to the point, and giving God all honor. Be blessed. The ministry board met last night in a regular meeting, and the new COVID recommendations were discussed. The following motion was made and passed. These new recommendations will be in effect starting this Sunday, 8/15/2021. until further notice. In accordance with the current CDC COVID recommendations, all persons entering the building will wear masks and observe a social distancing until seated in the sanctuary. Remasking will be required when leaving to exit the sanctuary. Social distancing of 6 feet will be observed when seated in the sanctuary and when exiting the building. Thank you for helping us observe these recommendations and prayerfully keeping all of our families safe.